I am 99 years old. Yes, a full 99 years. If you ask me what I've realized after living this long, I will tell you without hesitation. Money, no matter how much you have, cannot save you from everything life throws at you. It cannot buy time. It cannot bring back health. It cannot restore relationships that have been lost. And it cannot buy the peace that comes from truly living in the present. And yet, for most of my life, I believed it could. I was born in 1927 in a small town in the United States. The kind of town where everyone knew each other's names, where the streets were lined with modest houses, some a little crooked, paint peeling from decades of sun and rain. Life was simple, and money was scarce. Our home was small, with a creaking wooden floor and a roof that leaked during heavy rainstorms. Yet despite all that, there was love, warmth, and a sense of security that money could never provide. My father was a laborer, his hands calloused and rough from work, yet his heart was gentle. My mother kept the home running, managing meals and household chores with unwavering patience. Even as a child, I noticed the difference between our home and the homes of those who had money. They had bigger houses, new furniture, and things I could only dream about. I remember lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, vowing to myself that one day I would be wealthy. Not just a little comfortable, but truly rich. I wanted a life where I would never feel the limitations that had shaped my childhood. I wanted to ensure I would never feel powerless in the face of life's challenges. As I grew older, I carried this determination like a flame that could not be extinguished. I finished college, secured a job, and dedicated myself entirely to the pursuit of success. Every day, I was the first in the office and often the last to leave. Meetings, reports, deadlines, everything became part of the rhythm of my life. Friends invited me to dinners and gatherings, but I always declined. Family moments, birthdays, small celebrations. I missed them all in the belief that I was working for a greater good, that I was building a future for the ones I loved. In reality, I was building a future for my ego, for my ambition, for a version of life I believed would bring happiness once achieved. I got married. My wife became the center of my world, or so I thought. In truth, I often left her to manage the household, the children, and her own loneliness, while I pursued deals, contracts, and business growth. She waited patiently, understanding that my absence was for our family's future. But as the years went by, I realized that the moments I had missed, the first steps of my children, the late-night stories, the quiet laughter shared between us, were priceless and gone forever. The first real wake-up call came when my father fell ill. He'd always been strong, a man who carried his hardships silently, yet this time his body betrayed him. I remember the day clearly. The doctor said gently, "He needs rest and care. You must spend time with him." But I had an important meeting, a crucial deal that I thought could not wait. I told myself, I'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. By the time I reached the hospital, his eyes were closed. He was gone. And in that moment, I understood for the first time the cruel truth. Money could not save him. All the accounts I had, all the investments, all the wealth I was building, it couldn't bring him back. It couldn't extend his life. It couldn't fill the empty space left behind. My hands were empty, and my heart heavy. Years went by, and I climbed higher in my career. I became successful, wealthy, and respected. People admired my accomplishments, my business acumen, my ability to create value. I had everything a young man could dream of. But the deeper I reached into the world of wealth, the more I noticed the emptiness it could not fill. My children were growing up, but I was not present in their lives. My friends moved on, and I missed birthdays, graduations, and celebrations that could never be recaptured. My wife, patient as she was, deserved the companionship that only I could give her. And yet, I gave her time only when I could afford it, and that was rarely. Health began to show its silent warnings. By the time I turned 60, the first heart scare hit me. 70 brought another. Doctors began to speak to me more seriously, urging me to slow down, to rest, to consider my limits. But I ignored them. I thought I was invincible, that I could keep racing through life while still maintaining my empire. I believed money could somehow protect me from the consequences of my choices. How wrong I was. Health cannot be bought, no matter how large your bank account. Time waits for no one, and it does not bend to our desires. Now, at 99, I sit in a hospital bed, hands resting lightly on the white blanket covering me. My body is frail, my back slightly hunched, but my eyes remain alert, carrying decades of memories, victories, regrets, and lessons. Around me are the best treatments, the most advanced technology, nurses who attend to every need, and medications that cost more than I ever imagined as a child. Yet in this sterile, quiet room, there is a loneliness that no wealth can erase. The moments I missed, the conversations I delayed, the laughter I failed to share, those are irreplaceable. That is the true cost of chasing money over life itself. If I close my eyes, I see the streets of my childhood, the worn-out sidewalks, the friends who ran with me, the laughter that echoed through the small homes of our neighborhood. I see my parents' gentle faces, their words of wisdom that I often ignored in my ambition. I see the first steps of my children, the tiny hands I didn't hold, the small joys that slipped through my fingers. I traded all of this for a balance sheet, and now I know that no balance sheet can ever replace these experiences. If I could turn back time, I would spend every day differently. I would sit with my parents longer, listen to their stories, hold their hands, and absorb their love. I would play with my children, laugh with them, teach them, and let them know they were my priority. I would sit with my wife in the evenings, sharing quiet conversations, holding her gaze, and cherishing the intimacy we too often postponed. I would earn less, perhaps, but I would live more. The wealth of moments, memories, and love is far richer than any fortune in the bank. The lesson I learned, painfully and slowly, is that money is not evil, but it is limited. It can buy comfort, it can buy convenience, but it cannot buy time, health, or genuine human connection. Those treasures must be nurtured daily through presence, love, and attention. They cannot be saved for later, they cannot be accumulated in an account, and they certainly cannot be reclaimed once gone. If you are listening to this, and you are 30, 40, or 50 years old, stop for a moment. Call your parents. Hug your children. Talk to your spouse. Share moments of laughter and kindness today. The time you have now is the most valuable wealth you will ever possess. Money can make life easier, but only love, connection, and meaningful moments make life truly rich. I am 99 years old, and if my voice carries any weight, it is not because I fear death, but because I have learned, too late, that money cannot save you from life's true challenges. It cannot buy back the moments you let slip away. It cannot bring back the love you neglected. And yet, even at 99, I find peace in sharing these truths, hoping that someone, somewhere, will hear them before it is too late.